Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily. If you're new here, I do makeup videos, beauty videos, lifestyle videos, sometimes a bit of food videos, you know. I do love myself a bit of food. But yeah, so if that sounds like something you might be interested in, make sure you comment down below, subscribe, like the video, check me out. Yeah, today I'm doing my base routine for when I want flawless skin. So mainly this is for when I take Instagram pictures. I don't really leave the house a lot, so I only really need to look flawless for Instagram. Please excuse how uneven my eye makeup is. I'm looking at it in my monitor thinking, wow, you can't do makeup, girl. But I can. I just couldn't be bothered. I take my pictures like this, so you only really need to see one side. Not thinking I was going to film afterwards, but we're all good, we're just going to ignore it. And yeah, let's get on with the video. So I don't really tend to prime my skin, I just kind of go in with a moisturiser, and I've already moisturised my skin. I'm on the lookout for a cruelty-free moisturiser. If you don't know, I recently went cruelty-free. So if you do have a cruelty-free moisturiser that you love or that you enjoy and you think is good for normal to oily skin, bit dehydrated, you know, just leave some comments down below, leave some recommendations down below. I would really appreciate that. No. Sponge. We're going to talk about the sponge first. So basically, this is basically the body sponge from Real Techniques, and my sister had it and she left it on the floor and it went a bit gross, and instead of, you know, throwing it away like a normal person, I chopped all the edges off. We'll start with foundation. So the foundations that I use when I'm doing my makeup for Instagram, I will use one of two things. I either use this one, which is the Ordinary Coverage Foundation. I am in the shade 1.1N. This is a really good match for me. It's quite like a neutral base, and it's not too dark, it's not too light, it's kind of like a really good colour for me. It does oxidise a tiny bit, but not as much as the Serum Foundation does. It has like a medium coverage and it has like a really nice like glowy finish. If I want full coverage, then this is the Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. This is cruelty-free and vegan. I use the shade F6, which is a tiny bit light for me. I think F4 or F5 might be better, but obviously I just need to use this up first, so yeah. So I have an entire video on the Revolution foundation, so I think I'm going to use the Ordinary foundation in today's video just because I haven't used it as much, I don't think. I used this a lot in my December series, that was a long time ago, but I've not done makeup videos like since then, so it wasn't really that long ago for you, like if you scroll down my videos. But I did use this a lot in those videos because I absolutely love it for full coverage. Again, because I was doing videos and I was doing it for Instagram, so this is a really good foundation. I think in person, if you use a tiny bit too much of that, it can get cakey very quickly. If you use the right amount, then it's pretty good. I really like it. It's really good coverage. So yeah, I'm going to use the Ordinary one, and I'm just going to squirt this onto my cheeks. I tend to do 2.5 pumps. One on each cheek and then like half a pump on my forehead. I'm going to use this brush by Brushworks, I think, just to start stippling it into my skin, just to kind of spread it about a bit. And again, Brushworks is cruelty-free, which is amazing because we don't want to be hurting our animals. We want all the animals to have all the love and be free. We don't want to, like, you know, be hurting them. So if you want to do some research into some cruelty-free brands, there's not that many brands that aren't cruelty-free these days. Like, a lot of brands are going cruelty-free, which is great. And then just going to go in with the sponge once I've like distributed it with the brush and just pounce this in. Yeah, there aren't many brands that aren't cruelty-free these days, which is absolutely amazing, and I love that because, you know, we want to help those animals. But yeah, if you do a bit of research, you'll figure out quite quickly what brands are cruelty-free, what aren't cruelty-free, and if you do a bit of research into it, you know, you don't really need to be supporting brands that aren't cruelty-free, you know. I love animals. At one point I wanted to be a vet. Before I got ill, I wanted to be a vet. Since I was literally like 4 or 5 years old, all I watched was Animal Cops Houston, RSPCA, all of these shows that were like helping animals, saving animals in distress and stuff. And I was like, I want to do that. or I want to be a vet, and like that is all I wanted to do. I probably couldn't do that because like I'd just cry every time I had to put an animal down, because I'm a little sap like that. But yeah, that's my foundation blended. As you can see, it's really nice coverage and it's really good. For concealer, I use the Revolution Supersize. I used to use the MAC Pro Longwear, and that was my favourite until I discovered this. So much cheaper. PS, don't get the small size, get the super size. You get 3 times more product for only £3 extra, so it really works out great. But yeah, I'm just going to apply this under my eyes. I would apply this on any spots, but I don't really have any at the moment, so yeah, I would just cry like at all of the animals like having to be put down, so I don't think I could ever do that job like now. I just really like animals, and just because I like makeup doesn't mean my love for animals has to like, you know, subside to that, if that's the right word, because we can do makeup without having to hurt animals, you know? It's just unnecessary. It's really unnecessary. So before I powder my face or anything, I like to apply a liquid highlighter because I like to, you know, have a base for the glow, just so it looks like more intense on pictures. So I just take a bit on my finger and I literally just pat it into the skin and it just sort of melts. Okay, now for powder, I'm going to use the Revolution Pro foundation powder in the shade F2. Again, this is too light for me. Apparently I just don't know how to match my shade in Revolution. I just seem to get scared and think everything's going to be too dark for me, when realistically everything's always too light for me. But it's basically like the MAC powder, like the foundation, like Studio Fix I think it's called. But yeah, it's just a really good coverage foundation powder. So I just apply this everywhere apart from where I just stuck that highlight, just to set the face, add a bit more coverage. This also helps prevent flashback if your foundation does have flashback, because it's got a colour to it, so it'll kind of like counteract the flashback. A lot of Revolution just because it's affordable, but it's also just really good quality and they're cruelty free, and a lot of their new stuff is vegan as well, which is a plus. So moving on to bronzer, again, more Revolution. This is the Revolution Bronzer Reloaded Take a Vacation bronzer. It's a baked bronzer. I think this is the medium shade. It's just really nice. I used to love their heart-shaped bronzer, but then I broke it, so I had to buy a new one. But this is just a really nice warm toned colour. It's not too pigmented. It doesn't look muddy on the skin. It's just a really nice, really blendable, got a bit of a sheen to it, you know. It's just a really nice bronzer, and it's only like £3, so again, really nice and affordable. And then for contour, again, another Revolution product. I just really like Revolution products. This is the Brow Powder Contour in the shade Fair. I just used this shade here, really nice shade for me. Not too light, not too dark. Doesn't look muddy on the skin, just a really nice contour shade. And again, affordable. I only really contour my nose a tiny bit and my cheeks. I don't really contour anywhere else for pictures because you don't really need to, you know. If you can tell I'm rushing, it's because the sun's going down because it's 8:30 at night, and I'm running out of memory. But yeah, my blusher of choice is the Lottie London Blush Crush in the shade Drake. I got this from LSG Makeup. She sent this to me, and honestly, it is amazing, and Lottie London is cruelty free. And then I just go over everything with my sponge to kind of blur it. For highlighter, I just used the shade that is in the contour palette, the white colour, and I will just go ham with this on my cheeks because it kind of matches that liquid highlighter that we put down underneath. It's just like a very nice white, which works great in pictures because it goes with any colour eyes. And yeah, that is my finished, affordable, cruelty-free, flawless base routine for taking photos. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.